it. I'm gonna do it. And the button, push.
What the fuck is up, every pony?
Welcome back to Hell and Back, the session in which we have not gone to hell yet, or back. But
We're
it's okay.
working on it.
We're getting there. We're getting there. What will happen today is for me to know and you to find out. As for what happened last session, who wants to do the last time on Teleback?
I volunteer Anziel. Anziel, go.
He's not here.
Oh, no.
He automatically fails. Automatically.
Things happened. We figured out something about the underwater temple. We went out of the underwater temple, and now we're, I think, going back, or something like that.
I don't think that's.
Still trying to figure out why the salt water is coming from it.
I don't think that's hero point worthy, but that is a decent summary.
Whatever.
Alright, we defeated the sea serpents. Woo! We swam back up to the boat where our guys were waiting patiently for us. Thanks, guys. We rescued some people. We have some bodies. Oh no, what do we do with those? But we still haven't quite figured out where all the sea water is coming from. There's an angry god? Maybe. But perhaps it is time to return to Belmare with the news that we have.
Everybody is missing the thing. We found a statue of a water bird in the bottom that we think is an actual creature that has been petrified, which is actually, we confirmed that it used to be a creature because we asked the coral creatures. We don't have the means to depetrify a creature, so we have to go back and get one.
Yes.
Yeah,
So perhaps it's time to return to Belmare.
Yes, we have to find a way to undo that.
What we have done is we did find a broken piece of wing that came off of it. What Orion is suggesting to do is wait until morning. He will craft some sovereign glue, and we'll attempt to at least piece it back together. If that fails, then we will return to Belmare and inform the clerics of our progress.
Okay.
Aha. And that was a very split, very split log.
And we all have one quarter of a hero point.
No.
And Duck is very kind and lets us round up.
No, that's not how that works. How about this? 3 of you decided to contribute to it, so I'll let 3 of you fight over who gets the hero point. There you go. There's you guys.
I'm gonna roll a coin. All right. If it lands on heads, which is 1, then Orion gets the hero point. I win.
I don't see how that contributes for the third person.
Let's take a vote.
A coin is 1d2. Why did you roll 1d1?
Yeah.
It's a two-sided coin.
It was a rigged coin.
Alright, Ryan is 1, Little Spout is 2, and Steady Shoot is 3. There you go. I'll do it for you. Steady Shoot, you get the thing.
Boo.
Well, you guys all contributed. I can't give like 3 hero points just for intro to game, unfortunately. It seems a little unbalanced in that respect. But, it's okay. You guys are back on the ship. The couple of the folks from the Bannermains at Belmare have since turned the ship back to start heading in the direction back home, assuming that is where you guys are going. And you guys have...
One, at least until morning.
Yes. I kind of figured that you guys were sleeping. And you guys only did one hex here, so this would pretty much be overnight. You guys would move 1 hex this way, pretty much.
We're not going to attempt to glue the wing back on, or are we heading straight back to Belmare?
That's what I'm asking you guys. What are you guys doing through the night?
I thought we were sleeping and then wing.
Just sleeping and then what?
Wing. Gluing the wing.
We'll sleep here, wake up in the morning.
So you can make the
okay.
and put it back together.
Affirmative.
Alright, well you guys do sleep. And sleep soundly. Nothing actually jumps out at you in the water. Go figure. But through the night, you do get some conversation pieces from your 2 that you had provided from the other Bannermains, who are wondering, so, how are we going to make this ship look opulent? They ask you guys.
Opulent?
Well, yes. Don't you remember? He says, refreshing you on sessions past. You said you were going to pull back into port, acting all sorts of cocky, so that way our Bannermains could look, as he put it, positively cowed.
Well, I figure since we're not fixed yet, and we're gonna have to take it out again, I actually think we should do something else to start. We should
I'm confused.
we should send someone into town by not parking the boat at the edge of town.
But seriously, I thought we were already opulent because we literally got a very opulent boat. I thought we were just gonna come into port really obviously looking kind of smug.
I thought we were just gonna come into port and immediately meet with the Bannermains and like let him get angry at us because we don't care.
That too, but people are going to be watching.
Right.
So we have to look like we smugly did something. Sail right in, and then we can talk with Bannermaids.
But then we have to take the boat out again.
Yes, that's a separate problem.
Right.
But you're asking how we could be fancy. I'm telling you, no, we don't really have to do anything other than looking super smug.
I agree. But I also think we shouldn't go into the thing with the boat. We should just have someone walk into town so that the guy won't ask for his boat back, so we can get this done and not have to deal with him again.
I could fly into town. No objections? Okay, I will fly into town.
I mean,
raises a cup. I could fly into town looking like not us, or just looking like not looking, as in invisible.
I mean, is he going to be watching every single gate into town?
Oh, are you asking each other or me?
It's who?
I'm just sort of saying it aloud. I'm like, is he going to be watching everything down? I don't think we need to overthink the subterfuge in this.
Well, most people, says your NPC friend, are going to be watching the docks, as we have to keep most people away from them. So it's not exactly like we could expend a lot of Bannermains to watch every entrance.
Exactly. So we just, get off before we can see the boat, walk into town, get the whatever we need to depetrify and go back. I don't think we want to hatch a second deal with this guy.
Little Sprout is prepared to put up an illusion of not being Little Sprout, but also be invisible as she flies in.
Okay, that sounds good.
Just to make it extremely unlikely that anybody will spot Little Sprout.
Right. We could do that, yes. And then you go in there.
Now, what do we need to do? What are we getting?
Well, first off, we're trying the Sovereign Glue thing. If that doesn't work,
let's do the Sovereign Glue thing.
Right, and then if that doesn't work, we need to depetrify it because we're pretty sure it's petrified.
So we got to find somebody who can undo petrification.
Either that, or someone has stolen them and left a statue in their place.
Oh no! I mean, it could happen. Right.
That'd be wild. Like, what's this? Oh no, they petrified the king. No, it turns out they didn't. They kidnapped the king and left a king-shaped statue in its place. Why?
Because it's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So as y'all mentioned the glue, y'all hear a lot of clinking glass and shuffling bits of powder going back into the alchemist lab. Orion is finished with his daily preparations. Ready?
Do it, says Little Sprout, thrusting a hoof in the air.
Let's go in and be careful because we don't want something else to do that.
All right. Is somebody going into the water with me? Are we all going together?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should go alone. Yeah. We shouldn't.
I'll go with you.
Ryan immediately jumps in and he stays underwater, waiting for everyone.
Don't we need to redo the thing that made us breathe underwater?
Orion doesn't. Orion doesn't because he's got a thing that lets him breathe underwater.
Hold on. Why are we hang on.
I
already got the glue. You guys have the statue, right? Like, why are we going?
No, it was too big to drag out of there. It was massive.
I mean, we didn't actually try to drag it out of there. We assumed it was too big to drag
Ah,
there.
yes.
Well, it took up like 4x4 squares, and there was a 1x1 hallway to drag it through.
Yeah, I thought one of you guys said you had a bag of holding big enough last session.
No,
No,
I
I
mean,
kept asking, and it just kept being not quite large enough.
No.
I said I had enough room in my bag of holding if the mouth of the bag could be opened wide enough to fit the whole statue in there. And
Ah,
then I suggested
Yeah.
breaking up the statue into
Work.
multiple pieces to make it fit, but everybody didn't think that was a good idea.
Yeah.
For various reasons.
So we do need to go back into the temple.
Yes.
all right. Back into the temple you go. Whee! Let me drag y'all. I'm gonna drag y'all. Don't worry.
And just because I'll do a perception check on the way down to make sure nothing's going to try to eat us.
Go for it. Nothing that you know, and nothing seems to jump out at you. You guys enter the temple. Whee!
All right. All of y'all can see Orion's neck opening and closing because he's got some gills on the side of his neck.
It's still paused.
Oh, my bad. I was setting ring dancer.
Oh, also a day went by. Yay! I'm not as drained.
Yay.
Oh yeah, I need all my spells back.
GM, I just had an idea that might make me look really stupid. I'm going to roll crafting for knowledge alchemy. Is the sovereign glue going to be fluid enough under the salt water before it becomes sticky?
Let's see.
Does it work underwater? That's the question.
I will see.
It's a good question that we should have thought in the first point.
You're free to give me that craft check. Oh, you did. Do. I see nothing that it said that it can't do that, and part of me is pretty sure that in the rules of Galarion itself, they probably didn't make Sovereign Glue not work on underwater societies. So, congratulations.
Because I know there's a special type of clay that's used to help repair coral. If a coral reef becomes damaged, they have this adhesive clay that helps the coral grow back into peace.
This is not a coral.
Yes. Where'd you guys?
It's not, but it's an adhesive that works underwater, so that's what I was thinking of.
Aha. There you guys
Of
go.
course, the littlest of spout when zooming ahead. Phew.
Hey, bye.
Oh, yep. Zooming ahead.
Hi, Anziel. I'm sure I'm glad you didn't drown here the whole time.
Gives you a thumbs up.
All right.
Alright, and I'm gonna just drag you guys all the way here because nothing's gonna jump out at you in here. You guys pretty much cleared it a very diddly life. Whee!
Oh, sure. Take away all of my efforts.
I was gonna drag you too. I was like, you were already halfway there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him do it. Like, alright.
Alright.
I know how to navigate a map, thank you.
You guys approach the rather large bird. It's a bird. It's
Look
missing
at the
wing.
bird.
Ryan
Wow.
pulls off the broken wing chunk from his bag of holding, and he points to Steady Shoot, asking him to hold it up in place.
All right. Steady Shoot holds it up in place.
Doodly-doo.
Doodle-doo.
Ryan then takes out his sovereign glue, uncorks it, and you see this very opaque white material kind of ooze out of it. But then Orion uses the mouth opening of the flask, the flask, and spreads that out over both ends of the wing, and then it's held and pressed into place.
It is pressed into place, and as it is so, eventually you see that the only, I guess, remnant of anything broken there is the one or two little chunks of rock that probably didn't completely go, like, you know, along that that line where it is sealed. But for the most part, you just see it kind of bond and then sticks into place, likely forever. It's super glue, magical super glue. But it does. It holds
No,
together.
it's too magic.
Well, chemically, it is an alchemical glue, that is for sure. Well, it does glue into place. However, I mean, now you just have a full bird statue. It doesn't seem to come to life or anything like that.
Alright, that's kind of what we thought.
Ryan's-
It's still it's good stuff, guys. It's a good stuff.
Ryan swims to the top of the bird head and knocks on it.
You
Are
knocked
you
upon
trying
the
to
statue.
break it again?
You knock upon statue.
Yes, that's what happens.
All right. Orion shrugs his shoulders and points up to the top. Wow, my English is failing me today.
English is hard.
Orion points back up to the top because he can't speak underwater. But you get a good impression that he's suggesting we return to the boat.
And the announcer leans in, and so that's what they did.
Yes.
Now back to the boat. Ring Dancer's probably still up on the boat. And she's like looking at you. So where's the bird?
Orion shakes off, sprays water everywhere. Spill
Well,
down.
it's in one piece now.
Yep, it is very likely going to be one piece forever unless something ridiculous breaks it off.
And she kind of blinks. Well, that answers how many pieces the bird is. But I asked, where is the bird?
It is still underwater inside the temple.
I'll bring it out.
Did you not see how massive it was last time?
Yeah, you can't lift it?
We can lift it. It's buoyant enough underwater, but it's very narrow hallways, and that's a giant statue.
Ah, I didn't think of
I
that.
mean-
And she thinks.
I mean, can we shimmy it out of here?
No.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, we would have to break it into multiple pieces, and then I could glue it back together.
Does anyone have a shrink spell?
I have a shrinking potion, but it would have to drink it, so no. But that would be cool. Just like give something massive a shrink spell, it becomes tiny, whatever size it is. That would be great.
Right.
Oh my god, guys, be scared. I just realized that I gained something and just totally missed it.
What'd you gain?
No, what's up?
I gained a 5th level spell.
Brouhaha.
It's cute.
And this is when she kind of like, doing Dancer like waves the hoof a little bit. Well, I don't know much about magic and shrinking. I just know I've never seen it done on a statue.
Now, if shrinking solid were a thing, that would be great. Orion pulls out his alchemist cookbook and he starts scratching down notes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who's the captain of our ship? I forget.
There's not really a captain among you. It's just you have a couple people helping you steer the ship. So if you consider them captains.
We are
would
the
you say-
captains.
Would you say the item is less than 20 cubic feet in volume and less than 80 bulk?
Certainly
No.
less than 80 bulk, but I don't know about the volume.
It was 20 cubic feet, right?
It would be better if you asked me for what spell that you're trying to use it for, rather than
Big item.
shrink item. Shrink item. Less than 20 cubic feet in volume. I'm not sure actually. I was just gonna go by the bulk on that, because it's still a bird. It's like,
But we did confirm it is a statue, so it's an inanimate object.
And it's non-magical because the magic is removed when the spell when the petrification ends.
but yes. Creature bulk. Pathfinder 2E. I just need to see what creature bulk this is. So this is 24 with the thing, but yeah, I guess the cubic feet if you're going by squares,
Yeah,
which I
which
assume
is
it
why
is.
I couldn't, which is why I couldn't shove it in my sleeves.
And if you do point this out, which I assume that you are to each other, Ring Dancer is going to say, well, I mean, you could break it in half again.
I suggested that already.
Well, if you do that,
Wait.
then she kind of gives a shrug.
Because I didn't even think of shrinking it for some reason. I was more concerned with, actually repairing it.
Yeah, I mean, is it 20 cubic feet in volume?
Yep.
I mean, we could. Well, the thing is, it's 20 cubic feet in how much space it takes up in squares. Is it 20 cubic feet in volume?
I mean, how high is it?
I mean, I don't exactly have like the 100%. Like this is the inch to inch
Okay.
scientific notation for how
Okay,
much volume it takes up.
So it's looking like it is 15 square feet, covering 15 square feet. Would it fit in a 15 by 15 by 15 cube?
You could squeeze it down one size category less.
So 4x4. If
Also,
we squeeze it down,
20 cubic feet would imply 4x4 squares. This is 3x3.
Yes, and that's what I'm asking. So it is less than 20 cubic feet.
Yes.
Okay, so
yeah,
I just need to go get the shrink spell, and then we can come back and shrink it and take it wherever we need it.
All right,
Right.
that'd probably be good.
and if we put it into a bag of holding, it doesn't regain its size while it's inside the bag, correct?
I mean,
That's not how that works.
There's room inside of it for it, so we're
Okay,
probably gonna.
okay. Let me go back. Shrink item. It reduces to roughly the size of a coin. We really don't need a bag of holding for it.
But it only lasts for a day, so if it takes us more than a day to get back, it'll get large.
Yes,
And
but
it
at
lasts
that,
again.
Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
thought. That's what I think.
All right. Can it fit on the deck of the ship if it does get large, or back to its original size?
It's a yacht,
Huh?
yes.
Yes. Okay. Then yeah, that's a great idea. Let's shrink this down and get it out of here.
Well, I don't have the spell anymore because it didn't exist at the time to, Oh wait, I have the actual library though. The spell that gave me the Luminous library hasn't been that useful since, we have an actual library.
Ah, yes. That boon is a boon.
But I mean, like,
Okay.
if you need the time, that's fine. Can you cast the spell and make it happen?
I mean, yes, it's only a third level spell.
Fantastic. Let's do it.
Alright.
Okay.
And back down. Dive, 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 dive. Likely all the fish are wondering why you keep going back up and down. They can't tell for the life of them. However, you go back down to the thing. You're next to the statue again. Woo! What do you?
What? Why are we going to the statue again? I have to learn the spell first.
Oh yes, you do have to do that first. That is correct.
If Orion had air in his lungs, he would blow angry bubbles at you.
Well, I mean, you're the one that just jumped in and went down to the statue. I'm like still on the boat, trying to, get the library to give me the spell so I can learn it.
Well, if you guys are spending another day on the boat, you are free to do your preparations.
Okay, it shouldn't even take that long. Let me go find where. Oh, I need Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
What
Where is the
level?
stupid thing?
What level is
Third.
that spell that you're getting? It's a third level
Third.
spell, you say?
Yes.
Okay. Then while you're reading it, you have a very small pony just kind of leaning over. He's also
Okay, where is
reading
the
it.
rules for learning spells again?
Still reading it. Oh, she read it. She read the hell out of it.
Okay, no, that's reading spells.
Learn a spell Pathfinder 2. That should bring you right to it. Spend 1 hour learning a spell, which you must remain in a conversation with the person who knows the spell or have
Yeah,
magical
it's
writing
in
or
the
possession.
Skills.
And it is a third level spell, right?
It is a third level
Yeah,
spell.
which I'm gonna have to borrow money
That's fine.
because
I'll-
we never
I'll-
actually get money.
My character. I think he has the money.
Little
I
spout
bet- I bet
also
I- you
has
know-
money.
you know what, I bet I
Anyway,
have it
how
written
much?
down.
How much was it again? If you're already looking at the rules,
I can't.
16.
I'm looking for it.
16 gold. All right, so I
Is
will
it only
knock.
16 gold?
It's only 16 gold. Here you go.
Okay.
I
actually have that-
will.
I do
Oh,
actually
okay.
have that amount, but I will have 4 gold.
Okay, so I'll knock off 32 gold pieces for the both of us. Is that okay?
Okay. That gets Arcana. No,
I
it's
don't
not
know
Arcana.
if the
Oh, wait,
total
yeah,
wealth
it is.
number I have is correct.
Learn a spell. There it is.
Oh, right. I can't. What am I doing? Doing it wrong.
Typical DC 20.
Alright. Well, give me your Arcana check if you're learning it arcanely.
There is my absolutely can't fail Arcana check.
It's true. Well, that is a.
I get a plus 27 on a 3rd level spell. There is nothing that can make me fail it.
All right. I also did the thing, if you didn't see.
Which means that you expend half the materials and learn the spell because crit success. Look at you go.
What? Oh,
Yay.
so I only have to mark up 16. Fantastic.
There you go.
Oh, did we both get a cool? Okay.
Yeah, we both got it.
And then I will spend, and that took how long?
An hour per level of the spell, so 3 hours.
3 hours. Then I would spend an additional 10 minutes to just swap my spells.
It was a 3 hour.
There you go. And
Okay.
Ring Dancer is a huge nerd and now has the spell.
Ring Dancer? I doubt it.
Or Star Dancer, yeah. Ring Dancer is definitely
Star
not a
Dancer,
nerd.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the point of the character.
Hello?
Hello?
Someone's got his contact, oh no.
Oh, no!
And then for shits and giggles, I could use a 7th level spell slot to cast it.
Alright, well, you're going back down with the group then, I take it?
Okay, yes. Now I will go back down 3 hours, 10 minutes later.
There you go. You go back down. Wee, 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 wee. And there they are. They are certainly puzzled by this bird rock problem. You know how like somebody would be puzzled for putting like this the square the block into the round hole kind of deal, like they're trying to get it out, and then comes Star Dancer. Look at you.
Okay. I figured out what spell I'm gonna take. It's gonna be great, guys.
I'll cast the spell.
You fool!
I should go.
Why would you do that?
This spell is cast, and the once greatly magnificently large bird is now.
Size of a coin.
It's a mini. You made a mini. Congratulations.
Ooh.
Ba, 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 ba.
Can I keep it?
Stick it in my
Aw.
sleeve.
Perfect for castles and
Ele-
crashers.
Elemental form. Okay.
Yeah, that is the spell that Little Spout got. She can now become water or fire as she pleases, or air, whatever she feels like. Really,
I see, but you're still medium. Actually, no, you grow to be medium. That's funny.
I was gonna say she actually technically gets bigger.
Alright, and back up you go, back to the boat, and Ring Dancer is once again looking
Bird.
left and right. Okay, second time today. But where's the bird?
I take it out of my sleeve. It's a tiny bird.
Ah. And she nods. Not even gonna ask. And then she goes back to the edge. Alright, and then you
Alright.
clamber upon the ship, in which, I mean, he probably said it somewhere where if it did grow, I would assume would not topple your ship, because that would be kind of silly.
No, sploosh.
Yep.
Fantastic. So you
I
do that.
imagine right in the center of the deck.
it's like it just retained all its mass, so it's like a tiny, like, just really dense piece of stone. That'd be funny. But no. So you said it right there. Probably put it on a table or something so nobody steps on it. It's a pretty nice little centerpiece. But you go.
It seemed like a good idea at the time, guys. Okay.
And it's gonna take us at least 10 minutes to get there.
10 minutes to get back home?
Back to where we're going. Yeah.
Oh no, it took you guys a couple days to get out here.
Okay, cool. Well, it can grow, and I'm just gonna not prepare shrink item until we actually need it.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those.
Takes 10 minutes.
It's kind of one of those fluff things that I just imagine as the day goes on, the bird just starts getting bigger and bigger, just slowly over time, just the spell's wearing off.
It works, but okay.
Yeah, I just imagine it's just like it's not like a full expansion, it's just like it gets to like the size of a watermelon before the next day, and then you're like, alright, gotta recast this before it like just stops functioning.
It's like it doesn't actually grow, but it gets an aura that gets bigger and bigger. And
Yeah, yeah.
and it just goes up. It's that size.
I like that. That's good. All right, that's the thing. And that's
Now I have an almost useless spell for most situations.
all right. Almost useless spell for most situations sounds like prestidigitation to me, if you ask me.
Prestidigitation is one of the best spells in the two games.
True.
You will never be dirty.
All right, and then like I said, going through this hex for the one day didn't cost you guys. Nothing really costed you guys through the day. And you guys start the next day, where you would technically have to recast that spell if you were doing it, Lysander. If you were doing.
There's no reason to cast it until we're going to take it off the ship.
Fair enough. And then I mean, like, it's just one of those things with a small coffee table that it was put on, like, on the ship, just suddenly, like, it just goes and just, like, crushes the port coffee table because it's really big.
Why would anyone stick? I specifically
on
warned
the
them
floor.
not to do that.
Well, it did that, and, like, I mean, the two sailors just like, we
Pull out
thought
gaffer's
it
tape,
cute.
mark off its 15 by 15 area, and there it goes, right in the middle.
Well, it's
Stick it there with a dab of glue until it gets big.
and it's really big now. And it's on your ship, and it did not teleport your ship because it's a massive party yacht. So that'd be kind of weird if it did. On to the next day as they keep sailing away. There's only 2 more hexes to get to the places that you're going. Ergo, I shall move the 2 more hexes. 1, 2, on this one, which should bring you guys back that day toward the shores of Belmere. Now, as you guys approach on the second hex, I ask, what are you guys doing?
Well, if we don't necessarily have to go out, and we have this thing going on, how secret do we want to be about the entry? Because I guess we don't need to fly out if the bird will go there. Hopefully the bird will go there.
What do you mean the bird will go there?
Back to the temple?
I can carry it there.
No, I mean, if we unpetrify the bird in town.
Yes.
And this is actually a bird, and we're right.
Yes. But we don't know that.
Yeah, we don't. Do we want to sneak in so that we don't have to hatch another deal with... I don't even remember his name, and I didn't like him, so that's fine.
Steady. You're taking this on too much. All right. We just rolled out with a massive yacht. We rolled in with a massive yacht. We own this city.
Little Spout inclines her head. I mean, that's not exactly how that works, but either way, give me the thing. Give me. She thrusts out a hoof.
What's the hoof for?
The thingy, the statue thingy.
The what? The what satchel thingy?
Statue! The statue!
Oh, I don't have it.
Well, give it over!
Okay, fine. Start answer. Give me the statue thingy.
I haven't shrunk it yet. Give me a sec.
Okay, see, if it crushes my hoof, you did it wrong.
Okay, shrink it. Bring it back.
I take it from Star Dancer and I promptly give it to Little Sphinx, or who I assume is Little Sphinx.
You insist.
Actually, no, she is not Little Sphinx. She has to be in ultra disguise. So she looks like a little scamp, Persian scamp. Look at that Persian scamp.
A Persian scamp, you say?
Yeah, a little young Persian scamp.
You are now in possession of a massive statue that fits in your hoof.
And she stuffs it into her bag of holding. Yoop. And then she proceeds to stop being visible.
Now, I presume we need to find the 2 clerics who sent us on this mission, if nothing else, to deliver the corpses back to them.
And so she vanishes with a great cry of BRB.
Whee!
All right. Orion goes and looks for some funnel cakes.
So, hang on, I need to know how, because you guys are coming into this hex on this day. Before the ship is visible, I'm asking, what are you guys doing to prepare the ship as it comes in? Because, I mean, it's 12 miles to fly out back toward the, it's 12 miles per hex, and if you're flying out for 12 miles. If you're gonna get there before the ship does.
Orion is suggesting we just strut in like we own the place.
Alright, I was thinking we could stop a mile out.
Why are we stopping?
So that we have the option of leaving if this doesn't work?
If you're willing to fly a mile, yes, you could totally do that. A mile is still visible from the docks, effectively.
That's fine.
One moment.
I mean, you could definitely see a mile. Like, I used to be a cross-country runner, and I know that for a fact. You could definitely see over a mile.
One moment, please.
Well, I mean, it depends on your elevation and other things, but yeah.
Here we go. Okay. At the speed that I go, I can do 4 miles in an hour. How fancy is that?
Good to go.
So, we'll do it. 2 miles. Is 2 miles away enough to not see the dock?
Technically, no. Not in the middle of the day on a flat, like, oasis. Like, it'd be...
Okay. Basically,
Like,
as soon as we can see, oh, look, that's Beck. I think that might be the dock. That's when Little Spout goes, whee!
fair enough. We'll say that it's about 4 miles out. I think that's kind of fair.
Okay, then Little Spout will not bother going invisible yet because this could not only last for 10 minutes, it's going to take a whole hour to get there. As she jets along, whee!
Whee!
Coming in at the speed of sound.
Yeah. Orion was also doing something, yeah?
I thought we were already at the docks, but Orion is hungry for some funnel cake, so when we arrive, he's going to go look for some.
Well, I'm saying you're 4 miles out when Little Spout starts to head off. I'm asking, what are you doing? Because you're not at the docks yet.
Orion is waiting until we arrive at the docks.
Okay. The
So
other...
I'm still coming anyway!
What was that?
Apparently.
I mean, the whole point of me leaving was that the boat stops.
Well, yeah, like that's why they're confused. They're like, can somebody make up their minds, please? Like, it's like,
Yeah, I don't know.
because
Okay, so we're
they-
waiting a
It's
mile
very
away from
divorce
the
of opinion here.
Okay, so we're waiting a
I
mile away
get the
from
feeling
dock.
everybody thinks that the idea that
Hold on,
being said
Moon-
about it is pointless.
Moon Planner, what you saying? Or Orion?
Okay, so we're waiting a mile away from the docks so that Little Spout can do her thing. I'm guessing we'll wait for her to return and inform us if it's okay to go in or if we need to leave.
It's a theory.
Okay, then we're gonna wait.
All right, Little Spout, you eventually get back, and you said you were casting invisibility before you actually landed anywhere, yeah?
Actually, she's probably spotted while she comes in, so she will land, and once she's then out of sight, she will then never come back into sight because now she's invisible.
Ah, well, you are spotted by probably a few on the docks who have access to such things like those little eye spotter things that I just forgot what the name is.
Yeah,
Eyeglass.
see, this is why it's good to just take different forms.
Yes. So I mean, you are pointed out, but like I mean, like there's not like a large presence of things that like pursue to get you as you land. At least not in time before like you manage to make yourself invisible, and then like a
Oh,
local...
it's like she runs behind a box and then nothing ever runs out the other side. It's like, what the hell?
Pretty much. All right. So now what are you doing?
And now I will look for that priest that we started with.
Aha! You look for the priest and eventually find him, and he is just kind of standing at the edge of the dock, looking outwards, occasionally walking, talking to some of the other
suddenly
Vandermeans.
he is poked with a hoof from behind. It's probably kind of confusing.
And he whips around and briefly, like his hoof, it goes to seemingly grab like some kind of weapon at its side as he looks left and right. Who's there?
It's me, says a familiar voice. I come back with good news, I think. Put out your hoof.
And the weapon, he gently lets his robes fall back. Ah, the famed me, the bard of legend. And he holds out his hoof. Hold.
And so a very small statue is placed in it. We're pretty sure that's petrified. Can you make it not petrified?
blinks down at the thing. Blink, 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 blink. He squints.
It might fix the problem.
This little bird, he says, like looking at it, curiously.
Well, we shrunk it down so that I could fly with it.
And he's like starting to walk to act like he's just like observing something to himself while he talks to you, like casually. So you shrunk it down, and now it's here. And you suspect that it's been turned to stone?
A lot of things turn to stone down there. In the temple, where the water comes from.
I suppose that makes sense. He says with like a little bit of like a note of like, I guess, being impressed. I honestly didn't think you guys would make it back. I'm very proud that you, happy that you have.
We're gonna sail in and we're gonna look so smug, but again, we don't mean it. It's totally fake, okay?
And he kind of rolls his eyes. Oh yes, I'm sure that it is the most fake smug you guys have ever been in your entire life. Yes.
Oh man, I'm gonna roll out that extra mile of smugness. You don't even know.
He smiles to himself. Well, you could certainly look. Come stop by the headquarters when you guys are able. I'm going to go drop this off, and then into a safe box there.
Can you turn it back?
We have to see. He says with like a smile. Personally, I don't think that I have the skill, but maybe one of our other Bannermains does. I'll have to determine that.
Well, if we take the boat in, we can't easily take it back out, so should we come in or not?
And he kind of thinks a little bit. Well, if you come in, technically we aren't the guard, he says with like a big like emphasis on the guard. So it's not like we can exactly arrest you. He's just kind of...
But the guard will see us, and they know we're going, and they'll make a great big noise about it, so they won't let us sail right back out again. That's
if you think that the guards are on our side about this whole thing, you've got another thing coming, he says with like a little bit of like a eye roll. They're probably just as happy to see you guys out there as the rest of the citizens are.
I've forgotten. Why were the guards not liking us?
They don't like, they don't like the Bannermains here in the city, like, because they are literally the sticks in the mud, and said nobody's allowed on their boats. They have been guarding the docks ever since.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that, like, they're the bad guys in this situation, according to the city. Like, it's like, they're just stopping people going out there because of the salty water, they're trying to figure out what's going on, and there's dangerous creatures in the water. But nobody
can hear and possibly feel the jet of flame as she just takes off. But she's still invisible.
Yeah, and then, like, briefly he kind of blinks, like, looking at the spot that you were, like, talking to it as if you were still there, and you just hear him say just like, well, I didn't think that would set off your temper, and that's like the last thing you hear before you just continue going off.
Of course, approximately 9-ish minutes later, she appears flying away.
Whee! Oh, there she is.
Found the kid! Yeah!
Alright.
And then she returns to the boat. Hi, guys! Why is this?
Welcome back. What's the good word?
Okay, so they're bringing it to the Bannermains to try to figure out how to unpetrify it. She gives an emphatic shrug. They're going to try their best, but there's not much more we can do in the water anyway. Let's just take this thing in. But remember, super smug.
Ryan is going to do his best smug. What skill should I roll?
I feel like that would be intimidation. I mean, that's a smug aura. You're like off-putting somebody, right? That's intimidation.
Ryan's gonna be so smug. Just watch.
All right, let's see those blind smug rolls. How about that?
Okay. Can I go for deception because I'm obviously lying?
You're obviously lying about what? Bringing a giant boat in?
No, about like how smug I am about getting one over on the people who weren't actually trying to stop me.
That's not a lie. You clearly got one over on the ones that are trying to stop. Like, you clearly already made the lie.
They're not actually trying to stop us.
Little spout. All you have to do is believe the lie you're telling yourself until it becomes true. Then it's no longer a lie.
Look, I'm a master of deception. I know this trick.
All right, if you're trying to deceive the people that are probably not them that are coming in, that you are you're not being a big liar. Like let's see.
Yeah, no, she's trying to project a false emotion. That feels like a deception to me.
Ah.
Look how smart I am. Oh.
All right, let's see it.
Whee!
Whee! Thank you.
That sure was a roll between 1 and 20. I don't see anybody else rolling though.
Yeah, I'm waiting for everybody else. Y'all are coming in smug.
Well, I mean,
Starting
unless
care.
somebody, unless somebody gives me a better reason, then we want them to not like the Bannermains more. Steady as you just do what you want.
No, the person that we borrowed the boat from, we promised them that we'd come in looking like kings so that he feels good.
Yeah.
But I don't care if he feels good.
But you got to care about whether or not you
Word!
feel good. Orion jumps up on Steady's back and starts like just changing his facial features like clay and tilting his head and tucking his chin just slightly. There you go. Now puff out your chest and flex your back really tight. Just like that. Just like that. You hold that position in that face, and everybody's going to believe.
I mean, I would point out, follow the leader does work for this sort of thing.
I don't think anybody has followed leader.
No, that's an action. That is when everybody follows the person who actually knows how to do the thing.
Oh.
Which is to say, yes, somebody who doesn't have the skill could literally go, okay, I'm just going to do what he's doing.
I didn't know that was a thing. I can follow the leader.
That's totally a thing.
Or follow the expert?
It's great. Follow the expert, yes.
Choose now and blah blah blah. Provide assistance. And attempt similar skill checks. Thanks to your allies' assistance, you could add your level as proficiency bonus to the associated skill check, even if you're untrained. Alright, so pretty much it like gives you guys a...
Yes, if the person you're following is expert, though, you get a bonus. And if they're a master, you get even more bonuses.
sorry.
So it's pretty much your level plus 3.
I muted myself. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
did you mute yourself?
I don't know how long ago I did, but at some point I did.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Steady doesn't want to do it. Steady wants him to eat shit.
I mean, at this point, Little Spell is trying to now, like, guide you below deck. Fine, then be down there and be a sourpuss. Down.
I mean,
There. Star is
fine.
waving
I'll
at
do
them.
it. Fine,
Doesn't
I'll
appear
do it.
or anything, just waving.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
And you assume intimidating himbo stance.
I'll do it.
And
do I want it to be invisible or public or not?
Blind.
intimidation,
So blind.
or if you're following the leader, that would be deception.
Ooh, Little Sprout just got an
could be
idea. A
intimidation.
terrible idea. This is the best kind, really. So as soon as the boat is in nice and close, like literally just about to pull up, she will wave her magic stick, which is a new magic stick, and summon a phantom steed. And she will hop on the steed, and the steed will hop off onto the water and carry her across on the water to the dock, where she shall jump off looking just so smug. So smug.
Yes, very smug. And the combination of all of your smugs as you guys get closer and closer to the dock, you see that there's some people who have lined up from the city, like started lining up, looking out toward the water and clapping. They're behind the line of Bannermains who are all looking at you guys, like talking to each other and looking like, what the hell? Like, you know, like, how did they get out there? Like, where did this ship come from? Like, I was like, well, I guess they already knew that the ship was left, or like, it really decided to come back, right? Like, they got that, like, the absolute nerve face on. And I mean,
I feel like we did the job. Woo!
yeah, and like the people behind are like, it's the opulent display of like the horse that really gets it. And as you kind of pass along the dock, I mean, you pass where the main stitch was, and you get like a little message briefly whispered in your ear, just like, "Is the horse a bit much?" Just,
Sorry, wait, what did they say?
he just says, "Isn't the horse a bit much?" I guess like your phantom steed.
It drew your eyes, didn't it?
I mean, at that point, Little Spouts just kind of giggles.
Yeah, the smug only increases, and you continue on. Whee!
Hey, look, Little Spout was asked to do a job. She gets the job done, okay?
Yeah, I mean, if you see his face, he is kind of like, it looks like he's trying to repress a smile, because that was really a really smug maneuver. All the townspeople and some of the the guards don't even seem to be like trying to stop any of this, or some of them are just kind of like looking like yeah, stupid Bannermanes, like kind of look like they're giving the look to the Bannermanes.
We do attempt to put the boat back where it started so they can be taken care of by the guy who actually owns the boat.
Yes, your two Bannerman companions, who were the clerics from here, seem to have assumed different illusory forms of themselves. Just so they're not recognizable as their own Bannermanes themselves. So they have done that, and they are piloting your ship back into the proper parking spot where it was meant to be. And
Mr. GM, you have given me like a terrible, terrible idea / mental image.
Uh-oh.
Would you like to hear it?
I would.
Imagine, if you would, somebody actually having a permanent illusion of themselves on themselves that doesn't actually change their appearance at all. It's literally an illusion of themselves. Just to piss people off. Just to be a thing that they notice and go, what the hell?
It's just like a double take, like you're one of those weird,
Or if they squint at it real hard, oh god, it's an illusion. What form does he really have?
Yeah. Chaotic.
What's going on?
Chaotic, but the good axis alignment, I'm not sure yet. It depends on the application.
It really does. But man, that would be so funny.
That'd be pretty funny.
No.
I mean, yeah, they've definitely assumed different forms for the occasion. As they start kind of coming to dock in, it's like the others kind of look more obligated on the ground. Like, a giant ship has come in, like they technically have to dock it, so it's not just gonna float away and start crashing into other ships on the dock and stuff.
No.
So
fools.
yeah. So they grab the ropes and. Yeah, you see some of them like grabbing like some of the docking materials, making sure that the ship is like come to dock in, and that's when you see like the main stage slowly approaching as your guys' gangplank goes down, and he looks pissed. Oh, he looks so mad.
Ooh. Does he go to the boat or does he go to Little Spout, who's currently on a horse?
I take it Little Spout on the horse arrives when the gangplank comes down. That's what my assumption was.
Fair enough.
Who's angry again?
The main stitch. He looks angry. He looks
the leader of the Bannermanes.
Oh.
Yeah. And he stamps the hoof down stamp on the deck. 3 days, he says very loudly, as if using some new spells from Secrets of Magic. Oh man, look at him go. 3 days! You have taken this ship on a joyride. Did you enjoy yourselves?
Little Spout leans to the side on her horse. Yes?
You hear a guffawing from the crowd who can hear you, Little Spout.
I mean, I feel like the flat delivery was entirely appropriate.
Yeah. And he kind of rolls your eyes. We restricted this dock for everybody for your own good. And yet you still feel obligated to take your own thing, your own scenic routes out. You could have died, he says, with like a very angry note.
And she gestures at the boat. This fine vessel got us there right back again. Well, we'll keep it here now. We're done. We've had our fun. Come on, guys!
And he looks over toward the crew of people likely coming from the boat after that, being herded forward by the wonderful Little Spout on another steed.
I don't understand why we're doing this. He's just very quietly muttering this. I don't understand why we're doing this.
Yeah, me either.
Steady shoot.
We made this promise before we left.
Oh, I'm muted. That's why everyone's talking over me.
Oh, hi.
Oh, well, that would do it. Excuse me.
Hi.
Hi.
I wasn't trying to talk over you.
Did you have input before I describe the next scene?
Yeah, like multiple times, but you kept talking over me. That's my fault. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, Orion chimes in. He says, "Yeah, we had great fun. We killed a couple of beasts, brought back some birds, killed a bunch of monsters. Oh, and we found the source of the salt water coming from the oasis. Sad thing about your other Bannermains, though, they're corpses, but we brought them back for you. You're welcome."
And he kind of raises his eyebrows like that. Now this is me as like a just a TM to you. Like, did you understand the situation that he was doing, or?
He stomped his hoofs, cast something, but I didn't make a will save, so I don't think he cast it at me.
No. Like, I mean, the other Bannermains and you should be aware of that. Like, he knows that this is the situation. He's acting angry.
Oh, no, Orion was completely oblivious to that.
Yeah, no, it's just like I'm gonna let you know as a DM because it's.
He's like my. The situation is that the situation is that we're pretending that he's angry at us for some reason, even though as Bannermains we're.
All right, so as he's giving that speech, all of a sudden this huge horn, like a train or a boat, just goes honk.
A huge horn. Oh,
Yes.
a horn. Yes, the horn.
Yes, just goes honk over what he's saying.
Oh yeah, it's just a giant honk. And I mean like the loud honk noise that goes over Orion's perhaps slightly slipped
Equal to 4 people shouting.
Yeah.
Orion's ears fold back and he covers them up, and then he looks at you all mad.
And it's about this time when Ring Dancer's actually probably the one that brushes up against you and just like during the horn thing, just goes like right up to your ear and just says, "He's pretending, dumbass," and then it just like keeps like walking, and she's got her resting bitch face on, like she's, I mean, nothing's changed, but like
right. The realization comes over Orion. He goes, "Oh," and then he gets a really admonished look on his face, and he looks very sad and disappointed in himself.
Yeah, and like I mean, compared to everybody else, you might get that sad moment for a look, but like everybody else has assumed the puffed out chest. Like even Ring Dancer, who looks on board more with steady than anything, that like, why the fuck are we doing this? Like kind of deal. Like she's like, just like did it because the group's doing it, and she's giving you that look too.
Yeah. Why are we doing this? Aren't we supposed to be trying to make the Bannermains look good? No. Apparently not.
Yeah, and I mean like
Starts just ignoring all this.
and I mean still like just like the ignoring of it itself is like it just adds to the illusion in general. Like all the people who are clapping are whooping you guys on and jeering at the Bannermains from there, just saying you hear one of the voices just like, "It teach you to stop our vacations out on the sea," says one of them. Kind of like tossing like something, like a little stick or something like that, or a couple like the pebbles. They're just kicking pebbles their way, or things of that nature. But you guys get like the standing O effectively for coming in so smug, and that's about when you see like the see from like give me a perception check actually. I need
perception check. Who does?
I need perception check from folks. All right, I see 2.
Yeah.
There's the other one. All right, Little Spout.
That was not the right roll. There we go.
There we go. Alright, Little Spout and Steady Shoot. You guys are the only ones that actually noticed this because it was so well hidden. As you guys are coming in effectively, there does seem to be more, like, multiple reporters. They have some of those fancy boxes that you saw in Airlon to take photos and everything. They seem to, like, you know, have the small hats that would signify that they're probably from, like, news places. But like,
okay.
I mean, you guys,
So,
you guys,
hang
on. Let me finish.
Oh,
Let me finish.
sorry.
So like, you guys see that like as they bring out their cameras ready to go and like flash, like photos and things. There is a couple of others that like are in the crowd that just kind of like go behind them. You see them touch the back of their head, and then they like lower their cameras and just continue clapping as if like not taking pictures at the event.
Sneaky.
Yes.
Alright, well, if none of them are coming for interviews, then little Sphinx will just casually stroll past on her horse.
Whee! Casually stroll past you go. And apparently, there's not a lot of media interference. Woo!
Little Spout will report in to the person we borrowed the boat from, because that just seems polite.
You head on over toward the Cactus Bloom in Belmare. And I mean, you're on a steed, so you're a lot faster than other people, but people are like trying to like go that way. You're pretty much bringing a lot of business suddenly to the Cactus Hill, effectively, is what that is.
Bonus!
Yeah. You head on up, and I mean, you're there first before like a lot of people are, so you have like a decent amount of time to like decide what you're doing here. What are you doing?
I mean, she's going to ask for the head man because she has news for him.
Aha! You go to search for the head man. The head man.
The headest man.
Yes, Mr. Dubai, and are very like I mean you've already met with the bell lady who had shown you the clockwork phones and everything like that, and she doesn't bother you on the way up because you guys kind of bought a room, remember?
Yes.
For a bit, so you guys kind of go up to the top floor. Well, you specifically, I guess. All the way up. Knock, 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 knock. And there's a second before you just hear the words, "Open the door!" And then you see the door open. And Mr. Dubai is there just sipping his wine and watching over the entire scene of everybody starting to come this way toward his business with the biggest smile on his face.
Little Sphinx gives a half bow, as I promised, and she gestures at the crowd coming in.
And the crowd coming in seems to all be like rushing in, like wanting to say hi to the person who really stuck it to those dumb Bannermanes, and like yeah, he's looking down. Do you see how happy these people are?
Static.
Positively so. And he gives a great smile. Ah, yes. I suppose that'll make it easier. The next upcoming council decides whether or not they should stay in this city. What do you think?
She is bobbing her head. Bob, 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 bob.
And he kind of takes like another sip. And then he just kind of like lets the glass go in the air. And some unseen servant just kind of like holds it there for a second. He's got to stretch. Ah, yes. And you didn't get a scratch on her, I hope?
Not even a blemish. I mean, no, we didn't get any scratches last I checked.
You did scratch one thing.
Well, what did we do?
Well, remember, Star Dancer had to like tape off the area after one coffee table was smashed upon.
That was your decision. I didn't.
But he did technically say on the boat, so you know it doesn't count as part of the boat. Ha ha ha. Semantics, but he does kind of like give a smile at that. Wonderful. So, how was the look on his face?
Oh, you should have seen it.
Do tell.
He was devastated. Oh, did you see me come in the last moment there?
Oh, I've been watching from afar, he says, like with a smile, pointing to a small telescope which he had angled out toward the dock.
Oh, when my horse touched down on the water, their eyes grew so wide.
And he smiles, and I do have to thank you for drawing them all here, of course. And he sticks out his tongue a little bit. You know, right, good advertising partner you would be, had I needed the need for one, but yes.
I had a feeling you would appreciate that final touch, just as a thank you for being as good as you've been.
And he kind of gives like a little bit of a grin. Well, I won't let good work go unrewarded, he says, and a small little bag of some jingly material starts whee. You found yourself 200 platinum pieces, 2,000 gold.
Little Sprout does not start counting them in front of the guy because that's just tacky, really.
Yes, far too tacky.
Far too
It's more like it's in a fancy bag that just says 200 and then the platinum piece symbol.
nice.
Yes. It's like a fancy velvet bag and everything. It isn't even just like the, like throw it on the counter tavern bag. Like he had this like made, like, or got it from a bank.
Man, I have no idea why, but the plus and minus for the add coin thing this just doesn't want to work. I see how you are. I see how this game's played.
Yes. So he hands you that and then just kind of gives you like a little bit of a gesture. Well, you can either go say hi to your admonishing fans or see if your friends have been arrested yet. I'm sure that they probably have not had any problems with the guards. I'd hope not. I increased their paychecks the last couple days for such an event.
I do have to check in on them. You know how it is if you let them out of your sight for too long. And Little Sphinx shall blow a kiss, but also cast a spell very quickly thereafter, and poof, she's gone.
Poof! She goes. The door closes.
Okay, so have we been not with you then? We didn't follow you up this time?
I heard that Little Spout like flew off on the steed. I didn't hear anybody else saying that they wanted to tail her for it. Now
Okay,
I was gonna go to.
Steady's going straight to the Bannermaid's office.
Yeah. So I was gonna get on you guys next. Like that was Little Spout's thing. You guys at the docks were kind of behind with the gangplank walking off the way, and it seems like Little Spout had called away the most of the like crowd as they're suddenly looking toward like I guess the ringleader is what it looks like, and are following that up to the Cactus Bloom, giving like. Most people who are just here, they're just like clapping along. Like it's about 25% of the crowd that was after not too long, and some of them, like some of the other Bannermaids, are really acting up their part. They're just like, you need to come with us right now so we can tell you a thing or two that we need, and like they're doing that thing where like two of them are at your side and they're kind of guiding where you're going, but they're not like really arresting you or anything.
No. Steady is absolutely going along with that at least.
Yeah, so they are carting 1, 2. I don't think anybody's like, nobody. I didn't hear if anybody's resisting that per se here in the party. Is this correct, or is there some resistance? What is your guys'
Not
thing?
really.
No, Orion is clinging very close to Steady Shoot, almost under him, but like right beside him as he walks on.
You know that little like anime anger symbol up in the corner of their forehead, like that's Ring Dancers. They start doing that, and she like idly just like shoves them to the left and right, and they like are just like, geez, lady, okay, and then they just stand like slightly like a couple inches away, and she's grumbling. She doesn't like that at all. But you guys eventually are carted away with many claps, likely some smug looks out toward the crowd, and a few definite fans of your guys' endeavor.
Right. Steady's not really acting anymore. So anyone who's like overtly trying to get his to cheer is just either shaking his head or rolling his eyes.
Shaking your head and rolling, yeah. Like I mean, like once you guys get far enough out, it's like there's not very many people that were really following. They just wanted to stay there, look at the boat, see the reactions of the Bannermaids, and then the majority of them had gone off to go see Little Spout, who was a lot more interesting.
Yeah. Why did we go along with his plan to give him credit for something cool?
You know how they are here. He says, like, alright, who are you asking actually? Are you asking the ones that are carting you? The main Stitch?
That'll be the main Stitch.
Yeah, and he's kind of walking on. He's like, did you not remember what I told you about how the people are here? You get things done if it's always in the name to make sure that, you get one up on the Bannermaids, because we always get one up on them.
Right, but if you're legitimately responsible for saving the town, why shouldn't you have credit for that? They'll just appreciate you less if they don't believe that.
We are not tasked here to save this town. We are tasked here to make sure that this oasis stays pure, blessed, and it remains the common welfare for all the people who need to use it. He says with like a lot more like I guess religious certainty in that sense. What the people in this town get up to if they decide to summon something obtuse or otherwise, well, that's just extra that we deal with here, because usually it is still within the scope of protecting the Oasis at that point.
But that's what we were trying to do. Why did you get so angry about it?
It was an act, you dolt.
Orion,
He-
oh.
like,
I
oh!
just don't understand, because if they, it just seems not getting the credit for the good deeds is bad, and will just make your job hard.
Oh, trust me, the media here is going to twist anything and everything against us. It doesn't matter how good the deed is, trust me, we've tried. At this point, we're just not letting them get an additional heads up, and he kind of like gestures back toward where the crowd was, by not allowing some of the media to take the photos that they want to take.
Now that Orion understands, he quits slinking next to Steady Shoot and he starts strutting off.
All right, if you think that's the right plan, okay.
And he kind of
Sure.
he kind of gets a shrug. It's just the way things are here. You get used to it. And then continues to take you guys off to the temple, a temple of soft whispers, like the ziggurat of sorts. Or at least that's like kind of design, and it's taken on a smaller one.
Do you have the statue?
Of course. And he actually like he gestures toward the temple, put it in a small box in here, got it ready, and he says, taking out a small pad, he's looking over our numbers, and then you guys kind of like get delivered to the temple, and he's kind of dropped the act entirely at this point, because there doesn't seem to be anybody here that's wanting to cheer you guys on at the Bannerman's HQ, which seems to be a temple of soft whisper. And they all, like, it's a temple of soft whisper, but like, on the outside they have one sphinx of Queen Amensa, one sphinx of the soft whisper herself. They're kind of there. It's very similar architecture to that you saw in the old temple underneath the water. Who would have thought? And they take you in, and that's when the act just completely drops. All right. So he says, like, kind of thinking. I was looking over this, asking for guidance from various people who I'm sure you probably know from the outside of this temple. And he gestures to like the two statues that you guys just walked past. It would seem that I myself do not have the power to really reverse this transformation, if it was indeed one. He says, kind of with like a matter-of-factly sort of way. However, I do know that there is probably one in Dakalai that might be able to, he says, taking a deep breath. Don't particularly like working with her, but she definitely can. Are you familiar with Karen Priest, by chance?
Are we?
A Carrion priest?
No.
They smell pretty bad.
Kara.
A Kara priest, a priest of Kara.
Yes. Yes. Not someone named Karen, he says with a smile. Fear they ask for managers too much. No, this would be a priest of our most trickiest god of sorts, he says with like an eye roll.
Have we been to Dakalai? Crap, which time was that?
You have. You have been to Dakalai. Dakalai was that like gambling city you guys went to first, where you saw Flat Earth and Noir at the door.
Yeah. Okay. We didn't. We didn't meet a priest of Kara from there. No.
Well, there is one there, as well as, we keep in contact with her. The other higher priest of Dakalai himself is no better off than me in terms of general skills, but she routinely goes out into the field, and as such has picked up a few tricks. One of those is likely this sort of magic to break this kind of curse. Like I said, if it is indeed one. It kind of gives a little bit of a smile. But, do keep your wits about you, he says with like a little bit of a warning. If you are headed that way to do this, she will likely, he kind of thinks a little bit. Well, she'll try to ensnare you. That would be the word I would use.
Wait, we just came from Dakalai in order to get resources from this town. Now we are going back to Dakalai to get something to help out this town to come back here to go back to Dakalai.
Well, if I
No,
had...
this is perfect. We can finally get the chickens back.
He looks over. Chickens? And then that's when you guys see the door burst open. Well, that was just the best darn tootin' show I've ever seen.
There he is.
He gives a little
Found
bit.
him.
Yeah, he gives a little bit of a tip of his little really fancy straw hat, which he has a little band around it. It seems to be like brandly new made. He's certainly gone out, and he has a couple new utensils too. Some like he has like a really shiny pitchfork now. Like he looks like he's just like somehow attained some new items himself in the city, and just kind of like he smiles. Well, shoot, the people here are the nice kind of people.
Look at you all kitted out.
Shucks, he says with like a little bit of like a, side thing with his hand. It ain't nothing. Shoot, all I had to do was sing some of my fancy songs down there in that there tavern. And he points down that way. They got a kick out of it. Apparently don't know that kind of genre.
Mm-hmm. Is there...
Hey,
Oh, goodness.
And like
No,
this,
Steady is still frowning over like, now we're going back and forth and back again.
and he's like, he kind of gives a smile and looks down. Well, the good news is, Mr. Steady, was it? And he looks at the little bird. The little bird, I guess it's a little bit bigger bird, but, a bird nonetheless. Is that if this does happen to be a curse itself, it is broken, well, this might actually just be the solution to the problems, and you won't have to come back, now will you? He says, gesturing to the wings.
We're also here to help with a specific... We need a specific thing from the city for our own reasons, to save our own family.
Yeah, we were supposed to get some Aether Stone at the end of all this.
Ah, yes.
I am extremely happy I'm able to help. I'm very happy that that it took us this instead of some other kind of way. But
yes.
we also need to save our various loved ones.
And he nods as he's like going over to the side. He picks up a small, like a couple boxes of some stuff. Yes. Now I ask you, he says, holding 2 boxes. Do you want the morally ambiguous reward or the guilt-free reward? And he holds up both of like each box, like.
Oh, ambiguous, without a doubt.
I mean, normally I would say the guilt-free reward, but I suspect that's not what we want.
It's up to you. The choice is yours.
Look at it this way, Steady Shoot. If you practice apathy long enough, you no longer have to deal with guilt.
Apathy is a tragedy, and boredom is a crime. He does nod.
Take the ambiguous one. Do it.
Just tell me what they are.
No. He smiles. Otherwise, you'll just be guilty about it regardless.
Come on, Steady. I picked the ambiguous one for you. Do it for me.
There's no ambiguity for you.
There's no. All right. Well, what does your lovely pink friend here think? And he looks toward Ring Dancer, and she blinks up. Do you really want to ask me that question? I figured not. All right. What about you? He points to Star Dancer. Star Dancer.
Paying attention to the question.
Oh, he's asking you if you want the morally ambiguous reward or the guilt-free reward. He's holding up 2 chests.
And the thing is, I had just mentioned that we need Aether Stone from the town.
Maybe the morally ambiguous one has the Aether Stone in it.
I
And
mean,
the ambiguity comes from us not knowing where it came from. We just got what we came for, and we go on about our lives.
that's a really bad question considering I don't know what's in the chest.
Exactly. And he said that if we knew what's in the chest, we'd feel guilty no matter what. Instead, he's like,
You can have the boat or the mystery box.
Yeah.
It could be anything. Even a boat. Only they're both mystery boxes.
I mean, we need that ore, and other than that, I don't. We got paid for whatever we did, and I don't really care.
Well, making the decision for you, he says, well, you guys seem like you can live with a little bit of guilt, he says, setting down the morally ambiguous box he gestures to, kind of like moves it towards you and sets the other one back.
Ryan lies down and gets face level with the box.
The box itself is pretty opulent. It's a little like religious box or whatever. It's clear that he's probably just wanting you to take what's inside of it, because this probably belongs to the church itself. But it is big enough to house what seems to be like a few items. It's like it's hard to explain. It's about like a medium-sized Amazon box, or like a box that you'd find a new pair of headphones in. It's not the biggest box. It's certainly holding something.
Yes.
Ryan picks up the
Why
box
did
and
make us choose?
No. It's this is probably what we were gonna pick.
Ryan picks up the box and starts shaking it to see if he can determine what's inside.
You shake it, cling, 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 cling. Something metallic and is thumping around in the box itself. Well, metallic sounding or thuddy sounding. I mean, it's just like he kind of raises an eyebrow. You know, you could just open it, right?
Ryan trots over to Stardancer. He's like, open it, and he gets back on the ground again.
Making me open it.
Do it.
Stand back and open it with magic.
You stand back and open it very, very carefully with magic. And, hearing the Zelda opening chest sounds, nothing jumps out. However, the entire time, the main stage is kind of like raising his eyebrow. You guys act like you just got out of a dungeon or something.
What?
Da 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 da.
Da 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 da!
Oh, did you not know? We almost died when we were there.
And you say this just as you reveal what is in the chest, which seems to be a lone necklace with a very, very dark gem in the center. A very concentratedly dark one. In fact, it is also accompanied by a small picture, a very similar one to the ones that you had found in that one carriage a while back, which is of the Dubai himself, more like as like a younger child. And you know, this necklace, which seemed to have been around what you might assume to be his mother's neck. And he smiles. It is Aetherstone. He gives you guys a little bit of a wink.
Well, what we're looking for.
Now, it is at this point that I give you guys a fancy thing, because he would totally tell you what this is. This is an Aether Block necklace, which is a rare item in itself. Van Remains Homebrew. Look in Duck's Game. It's actually something that I made a thing for. If you go here, there should be a section under magic items. It's a 10th level item, Aether Block necklace. Slightly more eccentric looking necklace sports a cut and refined gem of Aetherstone, which gleams ever so slightly while charged. The user can use this necklace once per day to cause any creatures around the user within 5 feet of the activator to gain 2 additional levels of magical inhibition, which is a thing also in this document. For 2 rounds as a standard action. But it does have Aetherstone in it, and he kind of gives like a little bit of like a shrug. Yes, he'll cry about it here soon, I'm sure. So if you are taking this, best skip town sooner than later. He gives you guys like a look.
Ryan taps his chin a few times, and then he looks over. Do you have a group of scholars or historians who would like a piece of history to preserve?
Of course. And he looks a little bit smilier at that. Of course, we are always retaining knowledge, especially if it has to do with the temple itself, yes?
Oh, very well. Orion starts sticking around in his bag of holding. He's like, no. Ah, here it is. A +1 striking. No.
Yeah.
Here it is. Found it. And he pulls out the painting of Queen Lamenta and Nevermore. We found this completely submerged down in the temple.
Oh. And he looks at it with like great big eyes. A contemporary. And he starts like turning it over. It's preserved. It's painted. And he looks in the back. Semitone. You've actually found a very, very, very valuable historical object, my friend.
Oh, I know. I was there when we found it.
And he blinks, like turning it over. Authentic paint? It's preserved? My. And he kind of blinks, and then once again turns it over. And of the original Bannermains too. What a find! What a find! And then he starts to like look back toward like the others. Like they don't have a lot of paintings around this temple itself. He looks around, then he looks back towards you. We would absolutely love to keep it here. The only thing is, he says with like a note of like more disdain at the fact that there does seem to be a problem with that. We don't typically try to keep a lot of books in the city. We have a lot of break-ins here, you see. Generally have to keep around the clock watch on the temple, and I fear that a piece like this might get lost in the mix-up. He says with like a more of a note of like, yeah, like he seems upset about it too.
I would think if valuable items like this would go missing, Pony's hooves would go missing as well.
Oh,
remember the guard doesn't like the Bannerman.
yeah, like they're not really gonna be on their side about most of this stuff. They kind of have like a lot of going against them. But he does continue. I would still hate for this not to be preserved. So, I offer this. He says with like a kind of like a resolution. Technically, if you were to bring this up to Holbeck, are you familiar with the place?
Holbeck. Ryan pulls out the map.
Yeah. The map would help us with this, because I remember like where we've been and the descriptions of places, but names elude me a little bit.
Holbeck is right over here. Whee!
We have not been to Holbeck.
I guess I disabled my pings, but you could see it on the map.
Yes.
Well, while I do appreciate you donating it here, if you were to bring it to Holbeck, they have a museum, he says with like a big old smile, and museums love to pay for this kind of thing, and they specifically have that museum to document the history of the Bannermains. He says with a great smile. Perhaps you could get a little bit of a reward yourself in that endeavor, yes? And preserve history at the same time.
Orion's sunglasses kind of droop down over his snoot. You notice the slits in his eyes kind of make little S signs.
Cha-ching!
That sounds like a brilliant idea. We'll have to make a trip to Holbeck eventually, no doubt.
And, added bonus, he says with like a little bit of a poke on your nose, boop if you will, he kind of smiles. This was made by Semitone, and that was his hometown. He gives you a little bit of a wink.
So maybe his family would be willing to pay for
it. And he kind of thinks, well, if they're still around, I'm not sure where his genealogy had taken him.
Right, but if it's his hometown, then they probably have a historical desire to...
Yes.
Yeah. Orion is scribbling notes in his alchemist cookbook, and then he takes the painting back and puts it back in his bag.
There you go. All right. Now, before we get too along in this session, I asked you guys if you guys want to stop here so that you guys can plan on where you're going next in the coming places, or if you want to deliberate, or I'm not sure how close it is to pumpkin hours for y'all. I wasn't sure how long this session was going to go today. We did get kind of a late start, so.
Well, I'm curious regarding the Aetherstone. Like, meta-wise, I know how much Aetherstone we need to make a portal, but would we know how much Aetherstone we have versus how much we need?
The Aetherstone on an Aetherblock necklace is refined in, like, down to, like, a really good spell thing for, like, material itself. So for the effective amount that you have, you pretty much have, like, 3 bulk of Aetherstone on your hands.
Ah.
Goodness.
Yeah. It's like these necklaces are so far and few and rare between. Like, the only people who technically have them are families who've had family lines with these Persian necklaces passed down to them over time.
Ryan holds the necklace and then he carries it over to Star Dancer. It's like, would this be enough to get us where we need to go? You know the most about this.
That is a good question. GM.
Oh, yeah, that would be, I I'd say an Arcana lore blind if you could.
I will roll to assist, which I don't believe needs to be blind.
New. And you assist, making it a hypercritical. Oh man, look at you go. You are fairly confident, Start Answer, that like this is definitely enough to get you a portal to, like more or less like set up a permanent portal for you guys to go to and from.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Does it
a.
get used up?
Yeah, that's going to be my question. Would this get used up, or would it remain intact?
That's the thing about the thing about like Aetherstone itself is that when it's used to actually make a gate that goes to and from a location, that gate there is permanent. With how rare Aetherstone is, that's why it's such a sought-out material. It's like it's very rare, but it stays, permanently as like a fixture for like going to and from places.
I see. So yeah, we can't use it up.
Well,
Given
then why do
that-
we need it to cast teleport?
Pretty much the way that this would work, and they've actually done it in Erelon a few times with your help on this, Start Answer, I'm sure for like a thesis of some kind. You get the recommended amount of Aetherstone that it is to travel to and from. Usually it depends on the distance or the plane that you're trying to go to. If it's on the same plane, it's kind of one of those things where you supply both with like the permanent gate materials that you need to do. What? If it's going across dimensions, you're usually like not technically translating across those. Like like the ether plane is like a mirror, like a ghostly mirror of like the real plane, right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
kind of just like poof, wherever you are in there, it's like that's where the gate on the other side of a plane is made.
You keep talking about planes and gates and all that stuff, but the teleport spell doesn't do any of that. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, teleport spell doesn't. Ritualistic stuff, it's usually like a ritual that you'd learn along the way.
Okay, but you specifically said to use the teleport spell, I need Aetherstone.
Just as like a little, like if you had like it's more of one of those like material components, just that doesn't go away. You still technically need the gold amount, I think, that it costs to do teleport, but
I don't think teleport costs gold.
does it?
Yeah, I think teleport is like minor teleport. It's not like you teleport across things. It's just I teleport across a battlefield, so it probably doesn't
No,
cost
it's further than that.
Oh.
That's Dimension Door.
Yeah, the 3 here is like actually
Range
because
100 miles, blah blah blah, extend unless you heighten it.
actually this is a good way to put
gold cost.
this is a good way to put this, Lysander, if you were considering. The amount that you had here, you only technically needed 2 to do the whole thing that you needed. Then you have an additional bulk, which you can, like, with your boon at the library, this would open up the uncommon spells for things like teleport for you, so long as you had the material for it, like
I
you're
already
using.
have teleport because I asked you about it earlier, and then the whole thing with Aetherstone came up that I can't actually use the spell.
Yeah, this is pretty much what would unlock that uncommon spell for you. Is like now you have an extra bulk of Aetherstone to just do stuff with. Like.
Okay, so I can just cast teleport now.
Yeah.
All right.
100
So
miles
out
is a
of
lot of distance, actually.
Well, you have to like make sure that you like separate it from the necklace and actually get like the amount that you need from it. You can't just use the whole stone itself. If that makes sense. I guess you can. That works,
Yeah.
but you have to break it out of the
Use it
necklace.
up, and I just need this amount. Why
Yeah.
do I need to break it up? Why do I need it out of?
Fair enough.
sand?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I thought that came to my mind too, like halfway through me saying that. So.
yeah, because it doesn't
Sounds
like
you're
use
not
up.
making a lot of sense.
If it used it up, I would understand. But it doesn't.
Yeah.
all right. So out of
If I just did it
character,
with focus.
Out of character.
if I may, we have a secondary mission in Dakalai to meet up with the Kara priest to try to get her to fix the stone statue. That will fix the oasis. If I'm not mistaken, we need to travel to Dakalai because some very evil people need some evil things done to them who are responsible for our family members ending up in hell.
That's to the south of Dackle.
That's the what thing?
That's to the south of Dackle. That's
Kaladai?
yeah.
Okay.
Is it
where?
Kaladai or is it Crest Hill?
You guys are going to the family in Wallowdale, actually.
Oh, okay. So yeah. those are the people we're looking to attack. We have a person who claims to be able to get us to hell in Dakalai, so we could just go straight there to save the people and then plan our revenge afterward.
Is there any advantage we would gain going to Wallowdale first before we go to Hell? Because going to Hell could be a one-way trip, so we might not get back.
If it's a one-way trip, then we will not be succeeding in our the saving of people.
Yeah.
It's potentially a one-way trip.
That's
what I'm trying to figure out is like RPG terms. Do we want to complete the side missions before carrying on with the main quest, or do we want to bull rush straight into it?
Steady at least feels obligated to finish turning this thing from stone back in Dakalai. He feels we helped these people out. We got paid for the service of fixing the temple, and that would really mess over the region. Steady wants to do that before we do basically anything else, because the other two things are extremely potentially lethal things.
I'm on board with that. I would like to go to Wallowdale to find out what those evil people were up to, but
sorry,
it's not
just updating on that. I was just checking the backstory. I think it's actually Crest Hill. I was got the lores of the things picked up. So Crest Hill. Yeah, you were correct. Steady.
Yeah. I'm like, no, it wasn't that. Crest Hill is where where the family lives.
All right. If we have access to teleportation, we could wrap up these couple of side missions very quickly. Got Gesundheit. Travel to Holbeck, get some gold for the party. Travel to Dakalai, meet with the Kara priestess, convince her to go fix the oasis, and then we could travel to Crest Hill, meet up with the family, deal with them as we please, and then we travel to Hell. If we have teleportation, we could do that very quickly. And then David is saying, drop things off in Holbeck, bounce to Dakalai, head south from there.
Basically what you just said.
Okay.
Well, yeah, if we have teleport, that means that traveling is no longer much of a... And we need to give, bring...
I have a question. This is... Rules is written, and I'm just wondering at the why. Teleport is not precise. You will always be off target by roughly 1% of the total distance traveled. Period.
Yeah.
You will never be on target.
Yeah.
There is no greater teleport.
How many times a day could you cast teleport? Because we could just make small jumps. That way we're not up very far.
4 at the 6th level teleport, or 2 7th level teleports and 2 6th level teleports.
Okay, so
I mean, we could just plan to teleport right outside of a city and walk in.
If we just hop straight to there and it's 1% off, that means we appear within viewing distance of Holbeck, and we walk the 1 mile, flying all the way.
Max distance 100 miles on the 6th level.
No, it's the distance you travel, not the max distance.
Yeah, it's where are we right now?
We're in Belmere.
I'm drawing a line. Look at the line.
Yeah, I see it. It's 192 miles.
Yes.
I have to cast it at least twice, or I have to cast the 7th level version once.
2% of 200 miles is 4 miles. You're going to be in the same hex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we teleport to
that's
out...
not my point. My point is just like, why can you never be on target?
I mean,
the reason that teleport is uncommon in the first place because it can
literally do this like.
If you could teleport like 500 miles with an 8th level spell to precisely the locations, like you have the MacGuffin, it needs to be on the thing. I teleport directly to the altar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that was the thing. In PF1, there was teleport and greater teleport.
Yeah.
Teleport was just like this, and the greater teleport, which
we're not in Pathfinder 1 anymore.
No, I understand that. Yes, no, but I'm just saying. So, but even if I'm casting it as a 9th level spell, I will still be 1% off of the distance traveled.
Yeah, so that you cannot teleport directly to the altar with the MacGuffin. That is literally why.
And that's fine. It's a very short distance for us to walk up any percentage.
Yeah, it's just that the scaling of levels I think they've really gone off target from where D&D and Pathfinder and everything originally had the scaling of levels. Because they're like, oh, of course you're going to get to level 20, and it's not as good as level 20 in Pathfinder 1 or...
Well, I mean, if you get to level 20 and you don't have, like, Wish in your book, like, I don't know what you're doing. Like,
why would
Wish would be, like, you could literally just wish to be with the place that you want at that point and not even do teleport.
All right, Lysander, I tell you what. We'll work with what we've got, okay? You can teleport twice a day, get us to Holbeck. We'll drop off the painting, make some gold. We'll teleport to Dakalai the following day.
Wish would actually not be any better than teleport.
Okay, well, it's no use in playing.
All right, we get with the Kara Priest, do what we need to do, get her to fix the Oasis. We'll travel to Crest Hill after that, go to Hell, reap vengeance on those who have wronged us and our families, and then once the main story is over and we have an epilogue, Dr. Orion will personally travel with you to Goldenport so we can get with the Clockwork engineers and they will create an Aetherstone positioning satellite that is in high synchronous orbit around the planet of Astalon. So that way you can reflect your magic off the satellite to get exact positioning within a single square centimeter to where you want to teleport to. I will help you make that happen. Crickets, crickets, crickets. I thought it was a good joke.
No.
This is what I get for thinking. I'm sorry.
But yeah,
Come on, Aetherstone positioning satellite. That's totally doable.
But like, I mean, like that's the thing that pretty much David just linked was teleportation circle. That's what they're doing. That's why the cost is rare incense, precious metals, and a purified chalk worth that. Like the precious metals are literally like the things that you guys have. Like, like that's why it costs a lot.
All right.
Like in terms of like material.
Okay.
We have just become.
I kind of see what they're doing because they added in this whole ritual thing. But still, it's just kind of whatever.
Not
we
like
have just
it used to be, and therefore bad.
We have just become insanely powerful with how quickly we can move around the planet now. So we are in good shape.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so we hop to Holbeck literally the next day.
On the other hand, they did combine interplanetary teleport into teleport, and also 10th level teleport puts you any planet in the same galaxy, which is what the hell. But
Lysander, you're not thinking fourth dimensionally. Once we have the Aetherstone positioning satellites over Astalon, we can then travel to the astral plane and have satellites bouncing off every single plane.
No, completely.
Pinpoint precision on any plane you wish to travel
you're
to.
done. Can he be done?